Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergog, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at whether or not Ainz Ooal could clear the teleportation labyrinth solo and how long it would take him to do so. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as say thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. The teleportation labyrinth from Mushoku Tensei demanded everything from Rudius' group, despite Paul Greyrat's natural talent and mastery of all three sword styles at an advanced level, and despite having a weapon that deals proportionally more damage to an enemy based on opponents and their defense, along with a very powerful team, including Roxy Migurdia. They couldn't even reach the level that leads halfway through the boss. And even with Rudy, it was impossible to get through without losses, despite their numerical advantage, the guidebook, and everything. So the question then is whether Ainz Ooal could clear the teleportation labyrinth alone in just one go. And here we come to the first advantage Ainz Ooal has. He himself inhabits a teleportation labyrinth as well, namely the Great Tomb of Nazarick, and thus he will have some basic knowledge to deal with teleporters. Also, Ainz neither needs water nor food, since he is an undead and fear is foreign to him, and he also doesn't need to breathe, so he can use fire magic. He also has nullification abilities that protect him from weaker monsters. In other words, a single spider will not pose a big problem, and Ainz can fend off entire monster swarms on his very own. In other words, the biggest problem will be finding the teleporters that take him on a level deeper. And by the way, this is the exact same principle behind Nazarick's defense, so Ainz knows what the actual problem will be. He could of course spend months trying to find the right teleporter, or he could just use undead like skeletons, death knights, and so on and so forth to step on the teleporters for him. And since he can use the cadavers of defeated enemies to create permanent undead, this wouldn't be a problem. However, the undead are not immune to weak physical attacks, so Ainz's journey into the teleportation labyrinth would be more like an attack on his own great tomb, with inevitable losses, rather than an adventurer conquering an entire labyrinth alone because he is that overpowered. And Ainz can summon many skeletons and other undead, namely low tier undead, 20 per day to be precise. But still, the masses of enemies, such as tarantula deathlords and other insects, could easily defeat mere skeletons and zombies. Their strength is in numbers, and when they are outnumbered, their main strength would be nullified, as the defenders are numerically superior. But mid-level undead can be summoned 12 times a day, including a Death Knight, and they could likely kill dozens of enemies before being brought down themselves. And that is if they act alone. And with that said, the first thing Ainz Ooal would naturally do is to test the effects of the teleporters, because Ainz can sense roughly where his undead are, and where they are killed. He can basically map out the labyrinth in his mind. And after several weaker undead are destroyed to test the waters, Ainz Ooal then summons the mid-level undead, especially his Death Knights, as they can create squire zombies, which in turn create normal zombies. In other words, Ainz, via this chain of creation of undead troops, can produce a horde of cannon fodder from the bodies of the fallen enemies. Now, not even the crawlers would have a problem with those, but they will be distracting. And naturally, he will also try to summon higher level undead. However, these are so powerful that they cannot remain permanently in the world, as they require extremely powerful souls as a host. In other words, they can disappear after some time, and therefore they need to be used sparingly. Also, they would collapse part of the labyrinth if they would fight unrestrained. Nevertheless, on the first day, Ainz would only suffer minor losses, all of them weak undead, but he would have gained several hundred zombies, half a dozen Death Knights, and a map of the completely cleared first floor, and all of the teleporters there. and then he sends his undead and then himself to the second level. And here's the strategy Ainz Ooal employs. He sends undead to the teleporters, several in quick succession, to see if they arrive at the same place, or if Ainz can sense their presence from different directions. This way he will learn piece by piece how the labyrinth is structured and how all of the teleporters work. And something, on the other hand, if anything is dangerous, Ainz Ooal can just stay behind. So again, Ainz Ooal, despite all of his power, would likely not fight himself, but simply like an overlord, instruct and manage his underlings and his undead troops. Ainz will also need a day for the second floor as well, clearing it of any enemies, and securing it without too much trouble, but it becomes more difficult on the third level, as his Death Knights advance, but the monsters there, arachnids, mad skulls, and crawlers, use a combination of range and melee combat to gradually reduce the Death Knight's health to 0, while the crawlers keep the lower level undead occupied. But before the last Death Knight can fall to the monster hordes, Ainz sends in a Grim Reaper Thanatos to 4 different locations where this plays out simultaneously. And this is a powerful undead, from whose body negative energy constantly flows. And although the summon will perish from this energy loss, it won't happen before the 4 eliminate the remaining resistance nests. Ainz also searches every room he can, but he also ensures that his undead know to not attack any non-monster life forms. This is also why the Soul Eaters, who destroy life within their range, in their proximity, are not part of the party. And the horses in the dungeon would also face many problems, since they are primarily ranged fighters. And on the 4th level, the labyrinth becomes uncomfortable for the Elder Liches and Skeleton Mages that Ainz Ooal has summoned. Since the Iron Warriors on this level can reflect magic with their swords, so it becomes harder to advance. Still, with enough time and effort, Ainz Ooal's undead will overcome this challenge. But while Ainz needed 1 day per level so far, he now needs 3 days per level, taking a total of 12 days to reach the level of the teleportation room. And while the Devouring Devils are stronger, since they cannot reflect or deflect magic like the Armored Warriors, the timetable balances itself out, so the difficulty for Ainz Ooal's troop composition will stagnate on the 4th floor. And on the 12th day, Ainz would then eradicate the nest of the Devouring Devils and be standing before the teleportation room of the Hydra that he found with his see-through skill, ready for the boss fight. And how Ainz Ooal will take care of the snake at the other end of the teleportation room will be the topic of the next time. For today, this is it. And now it's your turn. Let me know your opinion about the video and about how Ainz Ooal would attack the teleportation labyrinth down in the comment section. And while you type, I say thank you very much for watching and special thanks to Other Daddy Other, ASK, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Din Pep, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Thiralshivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Le Louche Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Mervek, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Okill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage: Primus 11, Rhinomere, Kyone Karakos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Zenukai, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.